If you'd like sponsors for that game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 527. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I'm barely alive, Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
I'm Brian Shadow Emmerich.
Yeah, Selden blew us off last week, but Shadow and I managed to pull together a show.
So I decided I was going to sleep outdoors for a week in the heat wave that was happening here on the East Coast. It was awesome.
Yeah, it seems pretty dumb.
It was really fun.
He lost his mind.
Yes, yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think I'm going to be recovering all week from that. So,
yeah, sun damage on the bald chrome dome just cooked the brain, and
it's like it feels like the rain only makes it hotter, which is very weird.
It was just so oppressive. It was just the heat, the humidity, and everything added together. I was just like, ugh. Anyways.
But he's back.
It's good to be back.
Barely. We only got in touch with him like 6 minutes before the show, so.
We're just doing a show.
It's like, wait, what day is it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what happens when you cook your brain. So, but he's back. And he's probably no worse than I am. I'm super congested. I've been sneezing and stuffy and massive allergies. So whatever you got from the great outdoors is probably gonna fuck your voice up as bad as mine is. So yeah.
I don't know what everybody has right now, but my wife has it some, my son does. I usually get allergies like seasonal in April, May. I'm fine now, so I don't know what it is that's in the air, but it's not affecting me, thankfully.
Yeah, no, they kept saying there was going to be rain here, and I kept like, oh, that'd be nice. Just wash away whatever fucking pollen is all over my car and like when I leave the office and everything else. But yeah, no, there's been no rain, so.
Must be just trees then.
Yeah, you can just hear my raspiness. I sound like a grandmother that smoked for like 90 years. Yeah.
You're like Phoebe on Friends when she had a colon. Like,
smelly cat. Why are they feeding you? So yes, but we're back. So why don't we just jump right in the show proper? We'll hit off the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail like Selden used to do back 10, 15 years ago, it will cut you off after a minute. Charisma Devil comments. Thanks for the follow-up. I plan on submitting great questions starting with the next episode and plan on becoming the next Altius. So Selden, since you have no fucking clue what's going on here because you didn't listen to the show and you did not participate, you broke both of your duties.
Host duties.
Yeah. Charisma Devil asked how Altius became someone that we use their comment every week on the show. And basically we said, they were actually good questions. They were worded like like Brian pointed out, like a journalist would write them. They weren't just shit dumb questions. And now apparently Charisma Devil thinks that they can become the next Altius.
Well, I'm going to say they failed on the first week that they
not this week.
I thought that was weird too. That it was like you didn't go right in. It was like, and failed. You wait for me next week.
Next week.
Okay, I'm glad that was not lost on you guys either, because I was like, oh, why wouldn't this person have just submitted the good question now? But no, I guess take a little time. I know by the time the show finally gets posted, it shows up on Sunday. So really, that only gave you one day to put something together. So I can maybe understand this, but pressure is on you for next Monday night. So, actually, no, you have, because there's no show next week. So you have 2 whole weeks to fucking think up the greatest question the world has ever known. Make Altius seem like a dumbass. Just do it. Go ahead.
I don't know about
When is
that.
next Monday? Why don't we have a show next Monday? I'm lost.
Because next
Derek's busy.
weekend I'm down because when I do the editing of the show, it's always on the weekend, and my son Evan and I are going to be down in Jersey for Vulgarthon and hanging with Kev and all that stuff. So yeah.
Ask him about Dogma.
The buying out of the
Yes.
yes, yeah. That will be asked. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
All right. Next up, Punkalicious asks, do you have any fears about the price increases and new tiers for Game Pass, PSN, etc.? Yeah, I think it's fucking gone over the top. I used to call it the best deal in gaming, and now I can't really call it that.
It's pushed into the tier level that it's going up there with against some of our other streaming services. Now you have to really question of like, do I really need this and everything else? So it's pushing it from one of those, oh, I can have this added on without a problem, to, ooh, if I have to make a cut, which one's going to get cut, type thing. So
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Ultimate was already $17.99, I think. So now
But
it's
it's when you say
19.99. So it's
20,
$2.
20 though seems like a bigger
18
number
versus
than
20
17.
is not
No,
eight.
because it was the 99. So 17
Well, it's still
versus 20.
19.99. It's not 20 then.
Yes, I
However you
guess.
look at it, it's $2. But
Okay.
it does seem like a lot. But then you go, okay, well, you get all the games day one, and that's because of Call of Duty. We all know it is. They say it's not, but it is. It's because they're gonna have Call of Duty on there, and so people are going to sign up to play Call of Duty for a month for free on Ultimate. They pay $20 for it instead of $70 for it, and then see if they like it. And if they like it, they'll buy it, or they'll keep paying for Ultimate or whatever. But I think
Yes.
it's gonna have a lot more churning. People are gonna go, okay, this month I'll get Ultimate,
Come
and
and
then I won't
go
pay
and
for it
come
the
and
next
go
month,
and
and then
yeah.
yeah, it won't
Yeah.
be just like I sign up forever. But you can still get codes places. I get my keys from CD Keys, and it's like $11 a month instead of 20. So maybe do
Yeah, I
that.
know, but even then they still only sell them in 3-month packs. Like
But you
they're
can stack them.
you can, but there's still no annual. Like there's a reason why there's no annual price for this. They want to suck you in and then have you forget and then auto bill you.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
It it was a much easier sell to people when I would be like, oh yeah, yeah, oh, your kid wants a gaming console for Christmas, yeah, get him an Xbox, and then you can pay $120, and that's the cost of 2 games, and you'll get 100 something games for the whole year, and people are like, oh yeah, that's a great deal. It's
Yeah.
much harder to say, yeah, buy your kid a console and then pay the equivalent of 4 games or not even 4 games, um, and that gets you your 100 games. It's basically doubled in price since we started this whole rigmarole. So
Yeah. Well, that's how they set it up to get you with the whole, you could sign up for $1 for 3 months. And
mm,
then everyone did that. And then they tried to game it for a while and they took that away and they didn't let you do it anymore. And I
it
mean,
just
you
would
just have
be,
to go ahead.
I was gonna say, it would be nice if they give some, like, I know Activision games are coming on, but I'm still waiting for that family package. Like, I wish they
yes,
would have
that
thrown, like, you can share this with 3 people within your same IP or something like that.
Yes.
yep,
You know,
yep.
Yeah. I mean, what Netflix is $20 a month for for like the 4K tier with, I don't know, you get like 3 streams or something. That's $20. This is also $20. So I mean, it's kind of on par with that. Depends how
Now
much you use Netflix, depends how much you use games. I mean, 100 games or more at your disposal at any time, and all their
Netflix has
first
like
party.
15,000 movies.
Right. But games are $70 each. Movies are, you could rent it for $3. So I don't know. I mean,
I mean, I'm still gonna get my value from it because I play all those fucking games that they put out
The
there.
Selden games,
I
yeah.
try, I'll try every game as it pops up. If it's cloud available, I'll just pop it in real quick, try it out for a few minutes.
You're like the Mikey of games. You're like, give it to Selden. He'll play
something like
anything. Yes.
But I mean, it's gonna be a hard sell at $20 to keep it consistent. user base. I think, yeah, as you guys said, you'll see a lot of ons and offs type of things. So
Yeah. I mean, you don't have gold anymore. It's just what core and core. You can still get a lower tier and just not have day one
Yeah,
games.
they renamed all these things too to be as confusing as Sony. They're like, Sony, you thought you had this? Hold my beer. And then they rename their shit to weird shit too.
I think it's core, which is just like online play
Yeah.
and
And
like a
then
selection of 20 games or something. Then
yeah,
there's the middle tier, which is
that
everything that Ultimate is, but for console, but not
but
day one
not day
games.
one. No.
And
Yeah,
day
yeah,
one is only for Ultimate, and it's
yeah.
also you get PC games too.
Yes, yeah.
So
And is there still a PC tier if you
it's
don't have
no,
an
it's just all the
Xbox?
same.
I don't think
Because
there's a
I
PC
don't
tier
know.
anymore. I thought they got rid of that, but I could be
I don't
wrong.
okay,
know.
so that kind of cannibalized a, a weird part of their audience because there's a ton of people that, well, I guess nowadays where you don't need an Xbox to play Xbox games, where they're on,
Yeah.
you can do cloud streaming, you can do
You can play them from your
you
Amazon Fire Stick now.
Amazon Fire Stick. Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, all these other devices, Samsung TV. I think it's on LG TVs now.
I just think they're
Um,
trying to make it all, they're doing the thing. They're trying to make everything Xbox. Like it doesn't matter what you play on. It's all one price and play it
oh,
anywhere. You don't have to have an Xbox.
oh,
You don't have to have a PC.
for everybody that plays on those devices, they don't have to sell a console at a loss.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, we talked about this before where we said what was the max you think people would pay before they started to freak
uh,
out. And I said $20 on this. So we're at $20.
yeah,
And I think
this
after
is the
that,
point. Yes, yeah,
yeah, which they had said we're not doing price increases because of the
because
Activision
the
thing. And then hey,
Activision, yeah,
look,
yeah.
look
Hey,
what
what
they
a
did.
coincidence! We're about to put
Yeah.
out our first game in October on Game Pass from
And I don't
yeah,
play Call of Duty, so I don't
yeah,
care. And yet
yeah,
I'm paying more, so
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Like, it becomes more and more annoying where we used to buy two of these subscriptions a year. So Tiff and I would do the home console thing, and then the boys we would do the home console thing.
Mhm.
But now is that worth $540 a year? No,
Especially since
five hundred
neither,
Four
and
eight,
five
especially
hundred and
since you
eighty
don't play
or
games.
480.
40. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Still, that's
Um,
like a whole console a year.
yeah.
Buy another console. I mean, you already have so many consoles. You're gonna notice if you buy another console that isn't that console.
I'm not sure I would notice. So yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
yeah,
It sucks.
yeah. So fuck them. All right. Next up, Oedipus 69. Oedipus 69 comments. I am really glad to have found your show. I had no idea it existed and have come on post episode 500. What the fuck? Question
Well, then
marks and
you
exclamation
probably think
points.
I've been on the show the whole time then if you come on after 500 because I think I came on at like 505 or something.
Uh,
So I have
I,
not.
I'm not sure what the WTF part is.
I'm just caught up
That
on the
there's that
guy's
many
name.
episodes.
I'm like, I'm
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
like that they just discovered it and there's that
Yeah,
many
he's like,
episodes?
I just heard
Oh.
of it and there's already 500 episodes.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now because
Yeah.
when I was transcribing this at lunchtime today, I was like, "What's the what the fuck for? Like, why isn't like yeah or
It's like I can't believe I've never heard of this and there's already 500 episodes.
Our
What?
extreme advertising budget didn't get the advertising out to you to hear about our show before 500.
We need better discoverability on YouTube or wherever.
well, we get
All
plenty
the
of people that
places.
we've sucked in from Amazon podcasts. Was that a thing for a while?
That was the
we
thing
were-
for a while,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. So people come in from all kinds of weird places.
But yeah, glad you're here.
Yeah. Welcome aboard. All right. Last but not least, Altius asks, not Charisma Devil. Altius
Not
asks.
this week.
Gamescom has recently announced their intention to not only grow the show, but also to do regional versions of it. Do you think there is any chance of a U.S. version that could supplant E3?
Yeah,
I
I
see
think
where
that there's a
Gamescom
hole.
sees the vacuum that has been left by the conventions here in the U.S. and around the world, that they might be able to capitalize on some of those. But I really think that the
Gamescom is
cons,
huge, though. They get hundreds of thousands
Well,
of visitors.
I mean, there's PAX. I feel like PAX is kind of the
PAX is the de
second.
facto, like, but it's not industry. And, like, even as of late, companies are not investing in making booths at PAX. Like, there's been no Xbox booth, no Sony booth, no Nintendo booth for the last couple years. But these companies still seem to make and set up these giant booths. Like, I heard Xbox's booth at Gamescom this year is their biggest booth of all time.
Really?
So
Well,
what makes Gamescom worth spending money on where PAX isn't or E3 wasn't? I don't know.
at some point, there might be financial implications by, you're putting it up in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Um,
yeah.
and the labor, the unions, the taxes, and everything else that you put into the show here in the U.S. compared to a European country or something like that, it might be a break to go
Where,
there instead of here.
where there's no Teamsters that are
Yeah.
like, you got to use us. Yeah, you got to pay us to do everything. No
You
offense
want
to
to
the
plug in
Teamsters
that? You
out
want to
there,
plug in
but
that
yeah.
cord? No.
Yeah. You can't plug that in. You need a Teamster to do it.
I'm for union. Some of that stuff is okay.
No, I'm just saying that. I mean, there might be a lot of
Way to
financial
cover your
factors.
ass. Yes, yeah.
There might be financial factors behind the scenes of why it would be more successful over in Europe than it would be in the U.S. So
Well, yeah.
I just don't know if it's going to be profitable for them to put on regional shows of the same thing as GamesCon if we got like a PAX already here type thing. So.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not here. Maybe they do it somewhere else. Instead of Germany, they do it in South America or whatever. Like,
I mean, Chicago doesn't have a PAX. It's right in the middle.
oh, it
The
certainly
largest
is.
city.
Yes.
Neither does Toronto. Let's go to
We could
Canada.
use, yeah,
Yeah, that's true
yeah,
too.
do that.
Yeah. So
I think a
I'm
Canadian
for
show
it.
would probably fail because it's like doesn't 75% of the show have to be Canadian then? So they have some
because
crazy
of the
Quebec?
BBC laws,
Yeah.
or the
Quebec.
Canadian CBC,
CDA
yes,
rules,
yeah.
CBC,
Quebec.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got some
I
kind
just,
of crazy entertainment rules up there where like most of the people have to be Canadian.
I think there'd need to be a reason. I mean, because right now everything's online, and people have gotten used to that, especially since COVID. So you'd have to have a reason to like, or some hook to pull people there, because otherwise they'll just watch all the announcements online. So there has to be some major stuff. I mean, you said that this year Xbox is the biggest they've been, so that's cool. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll see. Maybe it's possible that could happen.
yeah. I guess maybe they'll like do some testers and try out some shows and see how it pans out. I don't think they're going to come right to LA and be like, yeah, let's just replace what used to be E3. I think if they're going to do anything, they're going to go to some
Not
other
LA.
foreign countries and try this out first. So, yeah.
We'll
All
see,
right.
Altius. I don't know.
Yeah. But great question, Altius. Charisma Devil. Now you know what you got to live up to. But great questions, comments. If any of you have comments or questions, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or emails at podcast@jewelplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop it over into what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week when you finally got back from your fucking camping trip from hell?
Well, for those with the EA Early Access or the Ultimate Edition of College Football 25, you can start playing today. So I use my EA Early Access and popped that game on. I played a few games of Ohio State running down the field, beating up on everybody around us. So having a lot of fun with that. Been a long time since I played a football game, so it does take a little bit of getting used to. I'm going to go through the tutorials, I think, learn all the passing maneuvers and all the menus and stuff like that. So there's definitely a learning curve for me on that game, so it's going to take a little while. So I get 10 hours before my actual pre-order kicks in on Friday, I think. So
Cool.
So you
The
can
only college game I've ever played is College Slam, which is like the NBA Jam knockoff back
oh
in the
nice, yeah,
SNES
yeah,
days.
yeah.
And I don't think it had the actual players' names, but I can't remember. Now they do,
Probably
right?
not
Because they
because
get,
that's the whole thing with this one coming out. The new name and
yeah,
likeness era of college football and college
yeah,
sports
they get paid
is in
for it.
place. So now all of the players in the game actually have real names and faces associated with those people. So they've done a good job so far from what I've seen. The announcing, the play calling, the face rendering, the stats, everything like that is really spot on. So and the crowds like at each stadium have all the chants and cheers and the things that they do, how they enter the stadiums and stuff like that. It's really fun. It really embraces a lot of the college
I'm
you
sure
know
it does. Like that,
traditions and
that
things. So
fake non-sports thing.
it's
Yeah,
so
yeah. So when you were playing for Ohio State, they did some like hick ass cheer, and then you
hey,
made that you made them
oh
lose.
H-I-O.
How is that nigh? All right, just no. Let's explain this once and for all to our audience. How is that an eye?
How is that? What?
An eye.
That's an eye.
He
Straight
was
up, you
just
look at the
doing it
giant
short.
eye.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
just did it short.
I
When you're
just tried to do
standing,
it
when you're
short so
standing
you
up.
can see it on the
Yeah,
screen.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. No, that's not like when you have a real football team, you don't need to do silly, stupid chants like that. It's like the Pittsburgh with their terrible jerk off rags or whatever. Yeah. So
New
uh
England's are just a bunch of stodgy old bastards sitting in the stand. They won't even stand up to do the wave, probably.
we don't do waves here. Like that's lowbrow. Sorry. Yeah.
You just went to a WWE event. Don't tell me about lowbrow. Motherfucker.
Oh no, that was the highest of highbrow. Yes, yes, it was good.
And there's Boston who doesn't have a team named after them. They call themselves the whole New England. The New England Patriots, not the Boston
Well,
Patriots.
that's just our
Other
football
than
team. We
that,
have plenty of Boston Celtics,
Yes.
the winningest team in
Red Sox.
NBA history. We have the Boston Red Sox. We have the Bruins. Like this is Titletown, USA over here. Sorry,
Ooh.
I know you guys are
How are
jealous.
the Bruins
but
doing these days?
yeah, they're doing
they
pretty
even
awesome.
have a team anymore.
All right.
All right. Other than that, played a little Pal World before I went away on my little camping trip. Got to explore the new island, check out some of the new
So
beasts
you
and
did
stuff
get
like
the
that.
update before you left.
Yeah, I did get the update before I left. So have to get back into that a little bit. I think it's going to draw me back in. I said it wasn't going to, but I think it's going to grab the additional new weapons and animal and creatures, whatever they are. So, but other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, I didn't have a lot of time to play games this week. So, how about you, Brett?
You did pretty well for not being home. I played a bunch of Forza Horizon 4 still. I'm still going through that and kind of getting all the achievements that I can. I'm kind of starting to be determined to just completely finish what I can, but the Xbox 360 and also the Forza sale is supposed to start tomorrow, I think, which is also Prime Day and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But if the ultimate pack of Forza, which is the only thing you can buy anymore, drops to like $10, I'll pick that up because then I can get the last DLC. But otherwise, that will go unplayed by me, and I will just have done the rest of it. But it's been really fun. Like that's a really good game, and I remember liking 3 enough, and 5 is decent, but I think 4 is probably my favorite. That's the one that's in Britain,
Yeah.
and it's just fun. So
I don't know
it's
if you
all the
guys talked about
seasons.
this last week, but was that the post that you found the last board to get the achievement to push you over 200,000? Is that right?
Yeah, the so I found the last bonus board in the Lego DLC, and that was the one that knocked me straight to 200,000 gamer score, which took me 17 years. I've started in like 2007 when I first got Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4, and I started playing with you guys. And since then, yeah, it's just been
Yeah,
slowly gathering more.
You didn't
So
get that top of the leaderboard for Ghost Recon. You blew that.
I did not. I have to work on that one next.
Yeah,
Do that one
yeah.
next.
There's the top of the multiplayer leaderboard. There's the top of the single player leaderboard. Like,
Well, I would like to say congratulations, Shadow. I think that's a
Thank
hell of an
you.
accomplishment, and I applaud you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seldom
Appreciate
can
it.
say that. I certainly do not feel this way.
I mean,
there's no offense.
it's. I mean, just I have 100 and I think it's like 129 fully completed games.
Nice.
Which that includes a lot of like arcade games, so like 200 games scored, but it's good. I like tracking my stuff on True Achievements. I'm one of those guys, so
Yeah.
I'm a
You
stats
should
guy.
bust out Graw. You can get world champion multiplayer. You can get
No.
solo champion multiplayer and team champion multiplayer. And those are worth 40, 32, and 32 gamer score each.
And their ratio is probably like 150 to 1 or something.
Oh, it's going to be way worse than that.
Nobody will ever get that.
Yes. It was like the original 5 guys that got those. Yes. Yeah.
Jeez.
Including friend of the show, Larry Herb, Xbox Live's Major Nelson,
Yeah.
who had played the game before anyone played it and got those achievements. So, yeah. And that's when I learned that achievements kids are bullshit.
All right.
Where did the achievement points touch you when you were younger? Where did they touch you?
They touched me right on my dick, Selden!
I learned it from watching you. Wait, no. That's a different
thing. Got
thing.
really weird. Yes.
That doesn't fit.
Oh, well.
How about you, Derek? What have you been playing?
Well, I played a little more Humanity, which is a fun game. And I learned something recently about Humanity where I felt bad originally when those guys were all falling off the side. But then I learned that it's really, as soon as they fall off the side, they start coming in from the top again. So no one is ever dying. Did you know this?
So the souls are being saved.
You're just thinking of the actual world. Like people die and then other people are born and
no. The like when they come off the side, they come back down that pipe and they're part of your people you have to steer to the thing. So anyway, that was an aside, but I felt a lot better about letting those guys ride right off the side of my map. So I enjoyed.
I could tell you were concerned about that before. You were very concerned.
It was a little bothersome to me. Like I got to admit, like I have a soul. Okay, like I care about people. And then the only other thing I played, which is something I picked up a while ago and never got around to, and by played I mean like maybe I played like 5 or 6 things because I've been going through the story videos and all that stuff, is that Atari 50, the anniversary collection.
Yeah.
That came out a couple of years back. So I've been going through timeline wise and going through and watching all the videos. Nolan Bushnell when he was little. Nolan Bushnell, who I know in real life. Good friend of mine, Facebook friend too.
What?
Yeah. No, I met him at E3 like 12 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, we're Facebook buddies and so yeah, anyway, the game, I keep calling it a game, but it's really not a game. It's more like a visual museum of Atari stuff. So I started at the very beginning of the timeline, and then anytime I could work down to like go view more media or photos or whatever, I would do that, then go back to the timeline and move over and then do the same thing. And whenever a game came out, there's a point where you can go and pick, like, I'm sure there's some place where you can go and just pick any of the games on the thing, but I've been trying to be a purist about it. So when I get to a game, I go and I pick it and I play it once and then I back out and then I go down and continue through the timeline. I think I'm at 1978 now, but it's fucking insane amount of history and information. And I don't know if this thing's on sale or not. I know it came out like probably 2 years ago.
At some point it was on sale and I bought it and I did the same exact thing you did. And I think I got through the whole thing.
Timeline wise,
yeah. I was just going through the whole history and like reading everything and looking
Yeah,
at every little thing and playing a game like once each time. Just tried each one once,
yep.
and yeah, it
It's
was cool. Cool.
fascinating. Like, and there's plenty of like Schaefer's in there, Cliffy B's in there. They have a bunch of modern contemporaries along with old school people interviews. Uh, I love the little video segment about like did everyone do drugs at Atari? And it's
Yeah,
and
they're
I,
like, yeah, kind of,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, but no. This goes no, but and he's like not in our side office, but over there back in.
And the other one said the same thing back to
Yes,
them.
yes, yeah, yeah. It's been fascinating. So I cannot wait to finish through that. Um, and I technically play a game like maybe every 30 minutes with the cadence of the videos and the photos and everything else. But it's been super fascinating. So if you ever liked Atari, or and this is not an ad, if you ever liked Atari, you ever had any of the Atari systems, anything from the 800 through the Jaguar and this stuff, like everything in between, it is it, it's a piece of art. I can't even just call it a game, and the company that put this together has made like modern versions of some of these games and thrown them in along with it. Like so, there's like a breakout version that's not old school breakout, and it really is fascinating. There's a lot of history there. Um, Highly recommend it. So yeah, I won't
Yeah, same.
keep sucking it off, but yeah, it's been awesome. So like I can't wait to go do more of that tonight and after the show and check it out and hopefully get out of the 70s and in the 80s, but we'll see. So yeah.
Take your time.
Mhm. That's what she said.
Oh,
Yeah, all right. On that, why don't we hop on over in the new releases? First new release out this week is Dungeons of Hinterberg. This is out for the Xbox. This is from a small Austrian developer. I think there's 8 people on the team. They've created this crazy kind of uh, essentially what happened is like these 30 dungeons popped up out of nowhere in the mountains of Austria, and each of them has different rules and different uh, kind of objectives and everything else, and
Yeah, it's like all different styles, and
yeah, all different styles, and yeah, and essentially
that's
this came out of this development team. They spurred this off during the pandemic, um, and they couldn't fly anywhere, they couldn't go anywhere, so they're like, well, we're gonna make a game. Let's drive up into the mountains of Austria where we live. And they drove up and they came up with all these locations, and that was their pandemic bubble. Um, and they built this game out, and it's obviously been 4 years in development, but uh, and it's a small team, but it, everything I've heard about this game is fantastic. So
this
it
looks really
just looking at
crazy.
some of the videos, it definitely has that Jet Set Radio future feel to how the
some of them
movements
do.
and the graphics
Yes,
are.
yes,
Some
yeah,
some looks
Um,
like Fez or something. Like I
yeah.
don't know
yes,
what's.
yeah, yeah, yep.
So that
It's
you can see that they definitely took some elements of some of the greater recent classics and stuff like that that are fresh in your mind. So yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's
definitely gonna
really
check this
cool.
game out. I think so.
yeah.
Is it on Game Pass or do we know?
It could be. That's the sound I make when I'm trying to quickly Google. Uh,
Probably not.
Dungeon
I mean, it's not like a Xbox game, so
Game
probably
Pass.
not.
Coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. Yep.
Well, there you go.
So Selden's
So yeah,
100% in.
And
Brian seems like he might be in.
yeah, that might be too.
Um,
Yeah, it's coming out on the 18th.
yep. But yeah,
Very
everything I've heard
cool.
about this game has been fantastic. So I too look forward to trying this. And like, it's every dungeon is completely different. Also, it's not built like a typical dungeon game. So really the way that these devs built this is like it's a vacation game. You're going on vacation and you can go to these dungeons and you can play through a dungeon. All the dungeons are different. They all have different dynamics, and like maybe one has gravity fucked up or whatever else. But it's the time of the day when you come back to the village and you talk to all these NPCs in the village, and it builds up this story, and you're hanging out and you're doing this and that, and you can play the game and some days not even do a dungeon and just hang out with the NPCs in the village, and it feels like you're on vacation. And it's a different concept for a game, and I for one look forward to playing it. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
all right, the other new game out this week is Shitball 25, aka EA Sports College Football 25. Like the game you didn't know you were missing, you still didn't miss. It's
College American
You're
football.
so wrong. There's been so many people dying for this game for so long. and
This is
asking
like
for
what
it.
happens in towns when you don't have an NFL team and you need to relive your high school days.
This is probably the most hyped sports game that has come out in the longest time. It's like every community out there
I'll let Selden talk about this game then. Selden,
has
tell us a little
been
about
dying for this
EA
game.
Sports College Football 25.
This is a throwback. It's been what 11 years since we had the last college football football game come
I
out.
thought we were done.
Sure.
And yeah, the reason why it's back out now is because the new world of name and likeness in college football has allowed the players to get paid for their likeness in the video game. So that's why NCAA sports went away in the first place, because they couldn't pay the players and they couldn't use their name and image likeness back in the day. So they, instead of working something out back then, which would have been possible, they were able to work out the deals now and get all these players signed up. So hopefully this opens the door for college basketball to come back, and college baseball possibly.
Are these
maybe some
even
other
real sports, or are you just making things up?
These are real sports. There is a lot. There's a huge fan base out there, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I think this is being released at the perfect time right now. Get you all hyped up for the season that's coming up in the fall with the new playoff format and the dynasty mode that they're putting into the game. So I'm looking forward to really deep dive into this game and playing it for a long time. So.
College sports video games are always kind of weird to me, because what's the longest they'll be there? 4 years?
4 years. Yeah.
Maybe. And
Well,
if that, and then
they could be
like,
there
it's
6
gonna
or
be
7 years, depending
gonna
on
be
if
new
they
people
redshirted
and-
or medical
Yeah,
redshirt or with transfer rules, and
I mean, they
the
may get
COVID years added
drafted,
extra
or
years.
So it's sort of
never
like these
made
players
sense to
are-
me either. Yeah.
these players are like brand new, no one knows who they are, and then like a couple years later they're gone, and then the football game's just sitting there going, these are all people that don't even play college football anymore. But with like major leagues, like, well, they could be there for 15 years, so you know who they are. But I don't know. I guess
College
if they go
sports
on to
isn't
other
just
things.
about the game itself; it's about all the environment around it, with the traditions and the fans and the
Yeah, I mean, and you care about your own like town, but then you don't care about anybody else's town.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
probably.
do. I definitely care about. I
Selden
care about the
loves
army traditions.
He loves the Long Island non-patriots. Like, no.
It's
Well, I'll take your word for it.
it's definitely it's got some legs. So I'm happy it's
Cool.
back, and I'm gonna be playing the shit out of it. So
Nice.
There's
I'm
only
glad for
two
you.
D-bags I know that love college ball, and one of them is Selden, and the other is Tool to Play longtime member Meters.
Blue Steel's out there.
Oh, is Blue Steel a college ball fan too?
Oh, he's a huge college football fan. He's a Michigan boy.
He's over in the Discord.
He's a Wolverine. Yeah.
M go blue. M go blue.
Yeah. You got a lot of
Discord.
college.
I know
Typing-
that. I know
typing.
the sounds. M go blue. M go blue. No, it's M. Yeah. There we go. There. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the other way is
I
the
never.
Texas Longhorns you're doing.
Oh yeah. See.
Now, Blue Steel's over in the Discord. Just type. I like college stuff. I like college. Anyway,
That's so what Blue types in the chat. But Blue now, instead of watching live, he kind of like live chats us as he's watching the show on
Yes.
replay, and then like it's like a random like Tuesday afternoon, and Blue Steel is getting pissed
Out of nowhere.
absolutely out of nowhere. You're
What
like,
did I do?
why is he getting so mad at me? Yes, it's a different kind of Blue Steel. It was easier when we could deal with Blue live, but Blue later is like, you're like in the middle of a meeting at work, and all of a sudden your fucking Discord's blowing up with Blue
blowing up.
going nuts. So I'm glad you guys all have the same feeling. That
Yes.
yes, yeah. All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? If you're in chat right now, which Blue Steel isn't, drop something in chat. We'll talk about it if we can. Otherwise, we'll just go with our pre-canned shit news because it's the summertime and the news cycle's shitty. First story! iPad support has arrived for the Nintendo emulator Delta with its latest update. So, this whole thing still weirds me out, that there's a legit, like, Nintendo emulator that somehow is available on the Apple App Store, which none of this starts to jive at all because there's still like an illegality to ROMs and everything else. But it's on there, and they just released their iPad version, and apparently it's fucking fantastic. So if you somehow backed up your own Nintendo cartridges on your own and you have those perfectly legal ROMs, then you can play them on this awesome emulator on your iPad now. So I know Sultan backs up his. But he does it bit by bit. He writes down 0 or 1 and then 0 or 1 and then 0. And once he does the whole ROM, he's in ownership of it. He spent like 3 days transcribing the ROM. So well done, Sultan.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I think that I thought there was some legal precedent where if you do have your own copy, you can make a backup of it, and you just can't distribute it.
But does that mean you can use someone else's backup? That's really where the question comes in.
No, but this is assuming that you did your own backups, because you just have to assume that. But I do think that Nintendo's going to come after it eventually. It's just that Apple's letting it be on there where they didn't before because of I think they got sued or something.
It's the multiple app store thing now that you're like, that's why the Epic Games app store is on there now. And there's certain things they can no longer exclude.
Right. But this is in the actual app store.
Yes, it's in the app store proper. But
so
there used to be something where that's why originally you couldn't get the Xbox Cloud Gaming app because the games came from somewhere else.
Because they couldn't rate them individually.
Exactly.
Because it was just like, well, they could all be rated M, and then we can't rate each game separately, and blah blah blah. Yeah. So
it's that same loophole that's been closed up. But like I remember having the N64 way back in the day, and I had this thing called the Z64 that went into the cartridge slot, and you put a game in the top. It had a little LCD screen on the front, and you could put a zip disk in it, one of those 100 meg zip disks, and you could push one button on the screen, and it would back up your rented Blockbuster game to your zip disk. And
dude, be cool.
Yeah.
Be cool. What are you doing?
Yeah. And then you could do that over and over and over and have all these, like, I'm not even sure if zip disks, like, if they have any longevity. Like, if I put one in now, does it even have any, is all the magnetics gone? Or what?
I mean, they're magnetics, so they might still be around, but maybe not.
Yeah, but that was the big thing in the day. But nowadays, I'm not sure how people back up their Nintendo games, but this
Uh,
thing seems pretty badass. I watch videos of this shit. This thing is fucking full bore, and it like frame rates better than the actual console.
yeah, because you can do certain things to them. I mean, that's a whole other topic, but yeah, that they can do some cool stuff to them
I know you're a
with the original
purist with
file.
your bespoke. Uh,
I mean, now I am, but that's just because I like doing that stuff. I don't have enough time to play actual systems and then also try to play emulators and play. I don't have that kind of time. I do have a lot of time. I do play a lot of games and watch a lot of things, but in addition to that, I don't have time to like let me also play stuff that's like ripped an emulator. Like, no.
no, yeah. The only game I want to play is Uniracers from back in the day. But
Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I
Mr.
rented that.
GBMS and I,
That wasn't one that I bought.
yeah, Mr. GBMS, we had that when we were in college. Well, I didn't go to college with him, but during the summers, and we would spend from maybe 4 in the afternoon till 2 in the morning, like playing Uniracers and shaving down records and shaving down records and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, to the point where like we realized that some of the courses, which were the straight races, you
Yeah.
had to take turns, and one person would just ride their brake and hang back, and the other guy would run through and go through things because it accelerated the guy that was behind to help them catch up. And
Oh
then
wow.
that guy would blow by the other guy, and then for those single player like speed runs, you could get it down to like 24 seconds, 18 seconds. Like it was phenomenal. But yeah, Uniracers is probably my favorite game of all time.
Well, you can probably play it now on an i something
Mm,
if you want.
and I probably will because I legitimately own it.
Here you go.
All right, next story.
Relogic's Terraria has sold 58.7 million copies in 13 years. This puts it up at the eighth best-selling game on Steam, I think, of all times, right behind Red Dead Redemption, who came in with 63 million copies sold.
That's
Or
ludicrous.
maybe it's not even just Steam. Maybe this is all over because yeah, Steam sales have sold over half of that number, with 35 million copies being sold ahead of its 10th birthday back in 2021. So it's probably sold a lot more since then. Terraria, if you're unfamiliar with it, came out slightly after Minecraft. It is one of those open world construction type games, but this one's from a 2D perspective rather than the 3D perspective of Minecraft. It's got a huge following. I mean, there's a lot of people that still play it, mod it, build different levels, and really play it out. I know I owned it at one point on Xbox. I think is where I bought it. It was a fun game. It just wasn't in my wheelhouse at the time.
Yeah,
But
no, I think 2 of my 4 kids played this when they were super little. But
yeah, I mean, I still catch my oldest son, catch my oldest son playing it. But every now and then he's
Steve,
What are you
you're
doing?
playing Terraria.
so him and his buddies are still playing this game every now and then. They'll get together and blast through some levels or build stuff and stuff like that. So it's a great game. It's still going strong, and the devs are, they're super happy. I mean, hell, if I had a game that's been running for 13 years, I canceled my update because people are still playing the original strong and it sold 58.7 million copies, I'd be fucking shit.
Yeah, 58.7
Yeah.
million is all you need to say. Like,
Yeah.
think about anything that someone has sold 58.7 million of, and there's very few things, with the exception of like Big Macs and that kind of shit. But like, there's very few things that 58.7 million of have been sold.
Yeah, I think I own that because it was Games with Gold or something and
Yeah.
on
Mm.
360. So I have it. I just didn't play it because if I don't have time to get into those type of games. I mean, they look cool. Like I'd probably like that. Like what's the like farming simulator?
Roblox.
No, the like farming game that everyone likes. The like 2D top down.
Oh, whatever
Oh,
island,
No.
stupid
Anyway,
Nintendo game. Yeah.
it looks like that anyway. No, but anyway, those type of things. I'm like, that would be cool. It'd be fun, but I don't have time for that because it doesn't end. right? It
No,
just
No, it
goes on
doesn't end. I
forever.
mean, it's definitely better than like a Minecraft if you're looking for boss battles and adventures, this type of stuff.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, yes.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
fucking right
Yeah.
there.
My son likes it. My sister likes it a lot, but I can't get into it because I will just not play anything else then. So it's like Halo 3 for 3 years. Played only
Well,
that.
that's how all the Halos worked. You played Halo
Yeah.
1 on LANs with your friends, and then you played
Yes.
Halo 1 over Xbox Connect,
Connect.
which was like the fake
Yeah.
LAN to IP thing. And then we
Yeah.
all played Halo 2,
Then Live
a-
came out.
and then we all played Halo 3, and then yeah,
And then we went back to playing at LANs on Halo 3 and
yeah, no,
It's funny.
yeah.
I mean, because I think they could probably bust through that 63 million by Red Dead Redemption 2 because it was never actually remastered or redone for the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X and S. So if they did a remastered version of that, I'm sure that they'd get enough.
I think the next one is coming soon enough that they don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean GTA 6 is what, next year? So
Thought it was
then
next spring.
I thought it was next October. I could be wrong.
It could be.
Anyway,
Could be.
so then Red Dead 3 would be what, 2 or 3 years
3
after
years
that?
after that. Yeah. Yeah.
They got to be working on it now. So
Yep.
that's it. They just Red Dead, GTA, Red Dead,
Red
GTA.
Dead GTA. Red
Just
Dead
back and forth
GTA. Oh no,
forever.
no, it's GTA, Red Dead, GTA Online, GTA, Red Dead, GTA, Red
GTA
Dead.
Online is forever. So
Yes, yes, yeah. You just got to get it
it's like
sparked off.
World
Yeah.
of Warcraft. Yeah, never
Oh my
ends.
God, World of Warcraft is now in its 20th year.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I had a friend.
I'd like to know who still has a subscription from the original date to today. Like how much money
Oh, probably a lot of people.
they've probably dropped
I
on
took a break
monthly
Yeah.
from it.
subscriptions and download content.
I will admit that last year I resubscribed for a 9 to 12 month period. I never mentioned on the show, but yeah, because I was embarrassed.
Did you
I
play
was gonna
with
say
Duty?
this is news to me
I
that
know.
you did this.
You didn't play with Duty? Oh,
No, I wasn't doing raids or any of that. I was just playing through the new campaigns and checking shit
okay.
out. So yeah.
My buddy who he played a little bit of that, I think, or maybe he didn't because he was like, I played EverQuest and it ruined like 2 semesters of his college, I think. So
Oh,
he was like,
nice,
I
nice,
can't
nice.
get into anything like that again.
No,
So yeah.
no. I remember my kids were little and they would come down and they'd like, "Oh, can we watch? Can we watch?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, come watch." So I have like 3 kids on me. They're all hanging on my shoulders. One's on my lap. And then I was like, I gotta do this stupid fucking fishing quest. And
Look, Dad's fishing.
my little son Evan was like, "Can I do that?" And I was like,
Oh hell yeah, you
"Oh,
can.
You
oh
can
yeah,
fish for me all
take
day.
take my seat." And you just keep fishing and fish and fish
Oh,
and,
it's like
So
bring me
you,
back 50
and
fishes or
yeah.
something.
No, it was more like keep fishing until you got this super rare fish. So you
Oh,
might have to go 600 fishes before you got this thing. But he was
jeez.
like I'd go upstairs, I'd get a drink, to come down. He's like, I think we're almost there, Dad.
All right, you keep
It,
fishing.
but it
Okay,
was
Dad.
he was like my own
you're
gold
just as
farmer
bad as
that
the
was
Chinese
just
Like we
gold
could.
farmers.
Do you remember
But
when
you're
I used you for
child
fishing in World of
labor.
Warcraft?
Oh,
You just gotta keep
Yes.
smithing this armor, kid. I gotta keep selling it at the store. You keep
Just
smithing.
keep smithing. Just keep
just keep
smithing.
smithing. All right, next story.
Get a pair of Switch Joy-Con controllers and Super Mario Party for $69 at Walmart. So there's a bundle that has Mario Party on Switch and 2 Joy-Cons that are a red and a dark Mario blue, looks like. All together for $70, which normally, I mean, retail is 140 because what? Controllers, 2 Switch controllers is $80 plus
Yeah,
the game is 60, so that's 140, and I guess it normally it's 100 and now it's 69. So I think this is a pre kind of cutting off the Amazon Prime Day
Prime. Yeah, yeah,
thing
that's my guess
beforehand.
too.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll probably be that way on Prime, I would imagine tomorrow, but hey, if you're in the market for Joy-Cons in general, you're already getting from $10 off. You're gonna get free Mario Party, so you might as well.
That's
I
not a
already own
bad
Mario
fucking
Party,
deal at
so
all. Like, I don't have
yeah,
Mario Party. I'm not even sure what my Switches
Hasn't
are.
there been a couple Mario
yeah.
parties? Which one? Or am I
This
thinking
is
of
the only
something
one on
else?
Switch. There's another one coming out though. It's Mario I don't remember, Mario Party something. They just had a
Is
a
isn't
thing
this
about it.
8? Does that seem right?
No, it's not 8.
No, no.
There was 8 or 9 was like on
Wii
GameCube, I
U?
think.
Yeah.
There's been a lot. There
Yeah.
used to be like 3 a system for a while there, and it started on SNES, I think. So
They
yeah,
just keep
it's
coming.
been a while. I used to play those on GameCube when I had them or when I had a GameCube when I first moved to Chicago in like '05. My roommate and I played that a lot, and they used to have a mic that you would plug in, and you could use
Oh,
it for
yes. Yeah, I
you would
remember that.
like talk or you'd blow into it or something like you
Yep.
blow up balloons or I don't remember what it was for, but it was always really fun. We played the hell out of that game, whatever the GameCube one was, probably the most recent one for GameCube, but they're always, I mean, they're hit or miss. Sometimes the games aren't that great, but the one that's coming out soon looks really good, and this one is fun. My son's played it because I bought it when it was on sale at some point, and he's played it with some friends and his cousins, and he liked it. So hey,
Nice.
$70, good deal.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong.
Good
Mario
deal.
Party games I could play for like a half hour to an hour when we first get it, and then I'd be like, okay, go away, kids. You can go play this by yourself. I have no
Yeah,
desire to play this anymore.
No,
I'm
it's
tired.
see,
good for
I don't get
groups.
that. It's more like Jackbox games. It's just
Yes.
something fun when you have a crowd of people.
Yeah,
And it's no
exactly.
fun if it's just you and your spouse.
No.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
All right.
Maybe that's the reason why I didn't really get into it.
All right. I'll make sure not to tell anyone that you said that. All right. Next
Next
story.
story.
Price hike shows Xbox is determined to make Game Pass work. So we did discuss this briefly during the show. Obviously, Game Pass has jacked up exponentially, and now we have Activision stuff coming in. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which would have gained Microsoft $70 a copy, and you can't really put that on an $11 a month service. You just can't. So it's they're trying to make this work. They're trying to make it so that we all get the day one Game Pass games, and it, it doesn't scale, or eventually it won't scale. But
Not with the billions they've spent.
no, absolutely, yeah. So with the billions they've spent, and with Call of Duty coming in the September-October timeframe, yeah, $11 a month wasn't going to cover the billions they spent. So we're going to
Well,
all
I
pay
mean, it
20.
hasn't.
Yeah.
It hasn't been 11. It's been 17. Well, I guess for the ultimate.
No,
So the day
yeah,
one stuff's been.
yeah, no, because people didn't need Ultimate. You could get the that low
Yeah,
tier.
that's
You
right.
could get the day one
That's right. It's like
Xbox
12
only
bucks or
stuff.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for $11. Um, so that's why they kind of created this dichotomy, and they said, okay, well, we're gonna put our uh, PC games over here and our Xbox games over here, and if you want both, then it's this. But there's no sort of entry level tier anymore if you want it on day one, which is the thing they mainly took away. So sure, eventually you can play Call of Duty, but if you want to play on day one, you need the God tier of Xbox Live. So,
I just feel like it sort of undercuts their whole messaging because it was always like very simple.
yep.
Xbox Game Pass, day one, day
Yes,
one.
yes, yeah.
Now it's asterisk, ultimate only,
Yes, yeah.
day one.
Yeah. It
Come
really
on.
has. Like, that's a good point. That was always in their press conferences and everything else.
Every time.
Yep.
I don't
Xbox
know.
exclusive. And then day one on Game Pass. And then
I
it's not that way anymore. So, yeah.
I mean, you'd think that I don't know so what's the like middle tier cost? I don't know how much that is, but it's almost like couldn't they have raised that up some and then like had it all been
Had
like
that
one price? Like
also got
this
the
is just the one price for everybody. It's like $15 a month, no matter what. They would get an increase, but we would get maybe even a dollar decrease, and then
decrease. Yeah,
everybody's just
yeah,
the
yeah.
same, and then it's all the same. But now,
And
okay,
this
now
is
it's
what
the
we made
tiers
fun of
thing.
Sony about. Like,
Yeah,
when was it? Like 6 months ago, when they were like, "Oh, we're having all these three tiers of
yeah.
of PSN, and
Now it's the
Ultimate
same.
gets and this one gets this, and this one," and it was absurd. And even Microsoft made fun of them on their own podcasts. And then now they're in the same club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we keep hearing that, the Ultimate's going to get the day ones. Like, how far behind is the regular tier going to get
Yeah,
the
we don't know.
the games?
Yeah, they
Like,
haven't
are we
told us
talking
that
like
yet.
a
Yeah.
week? Are we talking a month? Are we talking 6 months?
I would
I think
imagine.
we're talking 3 to 6 months.
I think three. That's what I
You think
think.
three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There has
mean,
to be enough incentive to get people to buy the more expensive one. If it was a
well,
week, no one would buy it.
no. But if you think about it, okay, 3 months, that's $60 of Ultimate.
Oh, yeah,
So,
60
so
of the
then
240. Yeah,
that's a
yeah, yeah.
game. So then, hey, you either spend the money for these 3 months, you get it day
Or you
one, or
save
you
the
don't get
game's
it
worth of
till
money. Yeah, yeah. No.
yeah, and then but then in the meantime, you're still probably paying for the regular, so you're not even really
Yeah, you're not
saving
really
that
even
much.
saving. Yeah,
Maybe
the
you're
whole
not.
thing's
Maybe you're just paying
terrible.
for
Yes.
core. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just confusing. Same as Sony stuff, which I also did not like. So it's where we're at now. But what are you
Fair
gonna do?
enough. All right, next story.
The first Olympic esports games will take place in Saudi Arabia in 2025. They finally announced the esports will be part of the Olympics in this upcoming 2025 year. For looks like they're possibly thinking about League of Legends, Rocket League, and Street Fighter could be the
Saw that.
games that are
Yeah.
hitting that. There's also talk of possibly having yeah, I'm not gonna say that. Turismo, Fortnite, Just Dance, and Zwift, and even
This guy's
possibly.
been sleeping in the woods for weeks. He's probably got dysentery. Like, just give him some slack, okay? Come
I'm
on.
sorry, guys. I'm trying to do the best I can. But
Sultan died of dysentery.
it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate this. I hope they take it from some of the bigger leagues that are out there and how they monitor it and rate the games and stuff like that. Rocket League has got a very competitive, you know, population because that game's still going strong. Obviously, League of Legends is right up there. Street Fighter, I know that there's a competitive circuit for that, but you know,
Oh, the
I,
fighting games, people, like, they're never going away.
yeah. So I mean, they're picking some of the good ones. Yeah, I would love to see like a solid Halo game being in there or something like that, or Call of Duty. But then I think you're pushing edges of global warfare against certain groups and stuff like that that might not be in the best interest of the IOC. So, what do you guys think?
I'm excited for this. Like, I can't wait. It's granted, it's going to get the same thing that Live Golf did, where there's a certain stigma about um, going Saudi and all this other stuff, and um, so we'll see how this plays out. But Live Golf seemed to they got over their Saudi roots and they're re-merged with the PGA now and everything else. So, but yeah, it's a common uh, go-to for certain people that they don't want any Saudi integration into any of our sports or this or that or the other thing. So I don't know where you guys sit on this, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other interesting thing is that they're looking to do the Olympic esports games every 2 years, which would put it half the time as a regular Olympics span. So is it really part of the Olympic cores, or is it just an offshoot of the Olympics that they're just testing out?
Well, Olympics are on even years, every 2 years, right?
They are every 2 years because we broke the
Uneven years.
Olympics and we phase shifted them by 2 years.
Yeah.
But really,
So then it's every 2.
the Olympics used to be awesome when they were every 4 years because you had to wait the fuck for 4 years and then you
And
got
then it was like
winter and summer.
summer.
Yes, and it was so much more
but
badass. Now it's like Olympics for you, Olympics for you, Olympics for you,
Well,
Olympics for you.
and this will be 2025, so it's odd years, so it's not Olympic
So yeah,
years.
and then it's like Olympics for you, Olympics for you, like every year.
And
It's
now
the
it's
Olympics.
just every year.
Yes, yeah.
Something.
Then it's every year.
Yeah.
In a
It's
world where every year has Olympics, no one is.
Yeah, so it's getting washed out like the X Games at this point. So like the X Games used to be something that was spaced out. Now it's like every time you turn on the ESPN, it's X Games again.
Yeah, there's literally gonna be Olympics every year now. If these are every other year on the odd numbered years, then we have winter esports, summer esports, winter esports, summer esports, winter esports, summer esports.
we got it. We got it.
You got that? Yeah,
You got it.
Figured it out. Yeah. It's a pattern.
Oh.
Yeah, not all of us are from Massachusetts.
Now
so
I
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to spell things out. Yeah.
Oh,
See what I did there?
jeez. All right. Anyway. Next
All right,
story.
next story.
I've broken Brian. So, all right. Since Brian's broken, next story.
NVIDIA RTX Remix makes older games feel new again. Give your older games new life with NVIDIA RTX Remix. It looks like what's happening is they're making a remix suite where you can basically take old games and mod them with ray tracing and DLSS and just put in new assets and stuff, which I don't know exactly how that's going to work with the rights to old games. Like, is that going to be cool? That like people are just taking old games and modding? I guess people mod games all the
They
time.
do them
so
now
I guess it's
anyway.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says works best with games that launched between 1999 and 2006, which use DirectX 8 and 9. So definitely older games, things that are 20, 25 years old, are the best to do this with. So they're talking about like Half-Life 2 RTX and some
Oh
others that
yeah.
are
Like this
older,
is
which
badass.
yeah, Portal. I guess anything that is anything that's Steam related. Yeah. I mean, and that can't show the images, but it does definitely make it look more detailed. And you could kind of do what you want with shadows and
Ray tracing
textures and ray
yeah.
tracing. And hey, I'm for it. I mean, I love that older games can be made to look new because I mean, I do like. There's a lot of games that I like that are really old, and you kind of go back and play them, and you think, I really
I
liked this
wish it
back
looked
then,
better. Yeah.
but I wish it looked or played better because in my head I remember it being so awesome. But now that I've seen 25 more years of games and how they have improved, I'm going back to this and going, this is kind of shitty looking or hard to play or what have you. So
No,
yeah,
I think this is great. It's kind of weird for the graphics card company to make modding tools to like one up old school like late 90s early 2000s games. But yeah, like you said, I wish we could show pictures, but like the before and afters are fantastic. Whatever tool that Nvidia created here is fucking phenomenal.
yeah, the lighting is just amazing.
Yeah, so
Just between the two. So
good
yeah,
on them. Yep.
cool stuff. Check it out.
All right, next story. Swery's bloody gambling in Death Game Hotel won't be his only multiplayer game. So I didn't know who the fuck this fuck Swery was. I didn't know what the fuck Death Game Hotel was. I didn't know shit about shit. I knew less about
Just
shit
in
than
general.
I knew about this. But this is a VR game where you sit down at a poker table with other potential
Marks.
Players.
Players. Yeah, we'll call them players, Selden. But really, they're people that are going to lose limbs. Um, and then what you do is in addition to your betting, you bet certain limbs in this game of chance, if you will, this poker game, if you will. And you're like, oh, I would bet my hand
I won't.
on that. Or I would bet my entire right arm on that. Or, yeah, I'll bet my entire head on that. Like, and then the poker game plays out, and then gruesome shit happens, and you're watching it all in VR. So, this game has become super popular. I had never even heard of it before today, but apparently shitloads of people love it. And then this guy, Swery, who apparently is like, he's like the one name guy. He's like the prince of VR game development, who's just known by Swery. Like he said, I got more of these in the bag, bros. Don't worry, I'm gonna make more. I don't know why I gave him that accent, but it felt.
Oh, he doesn't sound like that?
Well, no, he does. He totally does. Yes,
Okay.
That was like almost a direct recording.
Okay.
So, but yeah, this guy's got more shit in the tank, and there are going to be more multiplayer games like this. But I hadn't heard of this game. Selden, you deal in the obscure. So had you heard of this?
No, obscure VR games are definitely not in my wheelhouse at this point.
So that's below your level of obscure.
I mean, when I put the VR headset on to play poker, I'm playing like the Poker Stars or whatever that one is that was out there for a while. This one actually might be fun, but I don't know. It's such garbage.
Pretty badass.
Maybe I'll ask my kid if he's heard about it, because he's still heavy in the VR scene.
So what you're saying is you're scared of it.
No, I have no desire.
Scared of losing your hand.
It's okay.
Scared of losing a leg. Whatever. It's cool. You can be scared. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to just see how hokey it is and how cheesy the death scenes or the amputations are, or if it's anything there. Because none of the videos I'm looking at right now show pretty much anything.
Yeah, they can't show it because it's too obscene.
Ooh.
All right, so Selden's got homework. All right. Yeah, we got this for next week or 2 weeks from now. So yeah.
So he's gonna make more games that are not that game.
That are not that. But Swery, he is like he's like top tier of the one name guys. Yeah.
Obscure naming games. Like, is there a call for this type of?
It's like Cliffy and Swery.
Cliffy B he technically has an initial with
two names. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is more.
But if I said Cliffy, you'd know who I'm talking about.
I would. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, this guy he's created a whole new thing. So, all right. Next story.
A story that I thought you put on just for you to talk about, and pretty much nobody else really cares about. COD Warzone and Modern Warfare 3 teases a WWE collab for Season 5.
What?
SmackDown is coming to Call of Duty in Season 5.
All right, Selden, I'm glad you brought this story up. This is fucking awesome. No one knows what it's going to be. It was just very vague. But yeah, this is a great story.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Call of Duty and the WWE both have something go for them. Great advertisement, cross references to other genres and entertainment things. So maybe this is the partnership that we've all been waiting for.
Yep. Just like
nothing like the name and likeness of your professional wrestlers, fake wrestling, in the WWE. Bringing, tell you the truth, if they brought a Macho Man Randy Savage to the Call of Duty,
you have a time machine.
Like maybe
the Ultimate Warrior, is he going to be there too?
Yeah,
You turned the DeLorean into a time machine?
Maybe the Killer Bees, bring those guys back as a tag team.
Mankind? Oh no.
No.
Andre the Giant. Yeah,
Well,
but I'm sure it's just going to
Jake
be the
the
modern
Snake?
day wrestlers.
that's
so
what I
who
would
knows?
assume too. But all anyone ever saw, if you actually watched this trailer, was just a wrestling ring with no one in it, no human forms. They just literally, like, someone created a wrestling ring in Unreal Engine 5, and we're like, yeah, it's coming.
Well,
So,
if Cena wants to be in it, they got to get it out soon because Cena's
because he's
leaving the
only got 1 year
WWE.
He's
left.
done, right? I didn't realize he was still wrestling. He's just in movies all the time.
Oh no, he's been back, and then since The Rock since The Rock was given 20% of WWE and what's the other thing called?
WCW?
No,
No.
UFC.
Oh.
So that combined conglomerate owns both of them, and so that since The Rock benefits from them making money, The Rock has showed up, I would say, in 20 of the last 40 weeks of WWE. He shows up and either fights or causes problems or does whatever. Yeah. You look confused. Like you don't
He's fighting
understand.
still?
Oh, yeah.
The Rock?
Yeah.
Dude's still huge.
Can you
Like,
smell what he's
still-
cooking still?
Oh, I can smell what he's cooking.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Just checking.
Yeah.
Look,
All right,
Now,
last story.
John Cena, when he's been back, this is John Cena every time. Oh no! Like he's become like the baby seal of the WWE. Like he always acts scared. He wears like now these muted like light blue and light pink colors, and everyone
our
makes
audience
fun of
metrics
him.
just shot way up by talking about the story.
Yeah, everyone makes fun of him. Like that's his, I guess, his last year where he wants to be like this huge pussy and go out like that. But yeah, it's been weird. Our 1 year experiment with wrestling. Like this is like when Bradley from Sublime did his 1 year experiment with heroin. Obviously that went terrible and he died. Mucho gusto, me llamo Bradley. I'm hornier than Ron Jeremy. And if you want to get popped in your knee, just take that little coffee. Yeah, that
Ryan,
Brad.
Derek just had a stroke. Sorry.
This show just went off the rails. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, so Brad from Sublime did his 1 year experiment with heroin, and because he thought it would make their music better, he obviously didn't make it through that year, and then shit went awry. This is our 1 year experiment with the WWE, and we're both still alive.
You're talking about you and Tiff, right?
Yeah,
So far?
me and
Oh.
Tiff. Yeah. And we've actually been to a WWE event now, and it was interesting. Yeah.
It was interesting.
Well, it was fucking awesome. Okay.
Okay.
But I don't want you to think that I'm sold. So just let's get back to the news. Yes.
I wanted to pretend
All right.
like
Anyways,
I wasn't
data mining
excited.
does show that they do have potential finishing moves with the poses and mannerisms of some of the wrestlers, possibly reminiscent of what Ryan Reynolds did for the Deadpool. So, yeah, the
Oh yeah, that
backstage
was the other
finishing moves
rumor
and
was
stuff,
that the
so.
Deadpool stuff was coming in, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean-
WWE Deadpool, how can go wrong?
As far out of reality as Call of Duty has become, I think this fits right in with where they're headed with this franchise to try to be more Fortnite and get that dollar.
Fork knife.
So,
All right, last story.
There's finally a retro PC emulator on the App Store. The retro PC game emulator UTM SE is now available on the App Store for all the Apple stuff. Marking the first time Apple has allowed a PC emulator for iOS onto the marketplace. So it'll let you run classic PC games, but you'll have to download a pre-built virtual machine first. So,
Yeah,
but they
that's the
they
pain in
allow
the ass
they
part, right?
yeah, they offer them free on their website, a lot of them. So, or you can make one from scratch. But that's pretty cool. I mean, because a lot of people want to play older PC
King's Quest,
stuff, but you
Space
just can't on
Quest. Yeah,
PCs.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just older games or older whatevers on PC, and some of the stuff you have to like build a old PC from old parts sometimes. So if you can get an emulator easily available for that stuff, especially on Macs, a lot of people have Macs and things like that. It even works with the Vision Pro. So hey, that's a cool thing. I'm for that. Just make everything available everywhere.
Yeah,
What do
it
you guys
seems
think?
right up your alley.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I can play well, like what's an old PC game that wasn't on Apple back in the day? I mean,
Oregon
a lot of them
Trail.
were all Apple IIe stuff, so Macintosh
Karatika,
2E, what?
Karatika, uh,
Haratika? I don't know that one.
Karatika. I'll say it all the ways until you understand. Karateka.
Nope, don't know that one.
That was the before. It was the
Well, you
original
could play
karate
Doom.
game. Where
I
like
don't
the?
know, man.
Are you serious?
I don't know that one. I'm not quite as old as you, but I
Wow!
do not know
Oh,
that.
wow!
Is that the one with the lady in the red dress with the fan attacks?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Eventually,
I
yes, yeah.
remember that one.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking at this and it's got all these virtual. I mean, you can do Debian, you can do FreeDOS, Windows XP, Mac OS 9, Linux. Yeah, I mean, you get people playing Doom, Oregon Trail. I mean, Oregon Trail
Oh,
is Apple
Oregon
IIe,
Trail.
but
Yeah, I'm too old with Karatika, but Oregon Trail, is the one
I
you're going to
mean,
drop
Oregon
down
Trail
in.
was at schools back then. Apple IIe, but let's see what I played back then. Oregon Trail on
Yeah,
floppy disks, actual floppies, five and a quarter
the
floppies. I
Karatika
played.
disc that you put in,
I don't
you
know
would
that
play the
one.
game with your guy running forward. If you put the disc in upside down into your drive, it flipped the game
No way.
upside down and
No.
played the other way. Yes.
No way.
Yeah. No
No
way.
way.
Oh, I totally remember
We
this
all
game.
watched the No Way guy.
No.
Now
No.
you don't even know the No Way guy.
No, I don't know
Now
the
I'm
no way
going
guy.
like you said I was too old. Now I'm too young. Dropping the No Way guy.
I guess we
Wow.
go in different circles, but
He's a
I
Instagram and TikToker.
oh,
What?
Yeah,
okay. That's why.
No
That's why.
way.
No way. No, I love Prince of Persia on Macintosh, like back
Prince of
when they first had.
Karatika is the predecessor to Prince of Persia.
Okay. And
It's
Lemmings, of course. We
literally
talked
what
about
just
that.
came right before it.
Okay.
it was just I just remember it brings nightmares back of load times and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like
Loading those
we
Prince of
complain
Persia
about like
levels.
13-second load times now. It's like back then it was like, oh my god, let me put this in, go make lunch, come back.
I died. Now I have to wait for
Recently, Bob
a
and
minute and a
Kim
half
Rivard commented on
while
my
I
Apple IIc flat panel
die
display.
of dysentery. That's all I got.
All
All right. That was the
right.
last story.
That was last
That
story.
was the
So,
last story.
all right. So, if you want to drop us stories each week, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tool.com. Also, you can comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. I know, Shadow loves all my sound effects.
You deserve this. I was born in.
If you'd like to sponsor us, 773-527-2961. Email us at toolplay.com. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/tool to play. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tool to play. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. We also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. And just follow us there. We're trying to build that up. We used to have a twitch.tv/tool to play, but they didn't let us multi-stream. So now we're trying to build up this little bitch Twitch channel. So yeah,
I just had a thought.
I said it. Yeah, I said it. Whatever. Yeah.
I just had a thought. Does iTunes exist anymore, or is it Apple Music now? I don't think iTunes is still around, like as a name, right? Am I wrong?
Thought it was still called iTunes.
I think it's
but
Apple
maybe
Music
not.
now. Anyway,
Please rate me the podcast in Apple Music.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Or
So,
wherever you get your podcast at.
but not the bitch Android story. But anyway, we also have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. You can chat with all of us there, unless Selden turns off his notifications because he's on some kind of fucking camping trip or whatever, and doesn't have notifications turned on. But yeah, definitely jump in there. We will talk to you. We will embrace you. It will be the best part of your week. So before we close out the show, you guys have anything you want to pimp? Selden?
I got nothing. I can't think straight anymore. I'm ready for sleep. But you can check out my socials. It's Linktree Selden 007. What about you, Shadow?
You can check out my Linktree at Linktree/Brian with an I S Emerick EMERICK. And hey, Prime Day is tomorrow. I'm not pimping anything. Just
It seemed like
check
you're
it out.
pimping Prime
Check
Day.
it out.
Prime Day will
some,
be well over by the time Derek edits the show.
Yeah,
and
that's
puts it out,
true.
though.
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
It's
if you're on
only for our
YouTube,
live folks. So yeah.
if you're on YouTube,
If you get the
it'll be there
show,
tomorrow.
give us what best deals you found out there so we can rate how you did.
There you go. Do it.
Nice.
We will on our Discord post up some of the best deals we find as we're going through the day.
Oh,
How's
yes.
that sound?
Selden has signed up for this now. So yes, that is a Selden commitment. If you do not see any awesome deals on our Discord, well, you know who to blame.
Selden's fault.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
God, my window's so fucking small. Look, I should be able to just go like this, and you see it both ways. But I guess, yeah, the cameras only have a certain field of view. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my shit's at Linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. It's got all of my own shit. It's got all of the show's shit. And you know what? American Cancer Society, Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, and this time, not organ donation. Now, those guys, I heard that they stole a bunch of organs last week. No, it's
No.
I seriously heard this. Like
No.
there was a lot of stealing of organs that happened, and Shadow sent people that way, and I heard
What?
it happen.
What?
I
Selden,
gotta-
go
I
listen
gotta
to
go
last
back and
week's
listen to the show.
podcast. You
I
go
gotta
listen to the
figure out the
podcast.
story.
Yes, listen to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you gotta listen
Wow.
to the podcast because Shadow was like, "Yeah, give up
Wow.
your organs, motherfuckers!"
Wow. Derek's like, I don't put an organ donor on my on
My driver's license.
because someone will look at him and go, oh, I don't want to save him because I want
Yes,
his organ.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, on the other hand, I don't think anybody wants any of his organs. The amount of abuse he's put them through.
Probably
Ooh.
not. I have put these things through the test. But then again,
This-
maybe these are
this
the
liver is
best
black.
organs
What's going
possible. These things they have been field tested. So
Where I would squeeze his liver and get a pint of
Broken
freaking
in.
Tito's out of it.
on?
oh, wow. All right. I want to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at, here we go, youtube.com/tool to play, facebook.com/tool to play, twitch.tv/still_got_game, x.com/tool-to-play, and kick.com/stillgotgame. And on that, why don't we wrap this Seldon Woke Up episode up? I'm Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden 007 Selden.
I'm Brian Shadow Emmerich.
He's awake.